The airplane cruised steadily at 30,000 feet. Passengers settled in for the long flight ahead. Among them was 9-year-old Jamal, his eyes wide with excitement as he watched the clouds drift by outside the window. It was his first time flying alone, and his soft hum of wonder filled the small space around him. Just a few rows away, a sharply dressed man in his 50s sat stiffly in his seat. His brow was furrowed, lips pressed tight, clearly irritated by the chatter and laughter coming from the young boy and his aunt nearby. Suddenly, without warning, the man stood up, gripping a nearly full cup of hot coffee. In one swift motion, he poured the steaming liquid directly onto Jamal's jacket. Gasps rippled through the cabin as the boy froze in shock and pain. Tears welled in Jamal's eyes, not only from the hot spill but from the embarrassment and confusion. The man sneered coldly. "Maybe now you'll learn to be quiet." Passengers stared in disbelief, some whispering, others reaching for their phones to capture the scene. Jamal's aunt gasped and tried to comfort him, dabbing at the wet spot while struggling to hold back tears. Flight attendant Maria Lopez was making her routine aisle check when she noticed the commotion. She quickly rushed over and knelt beside Jamal, her voice gentle but firm. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" she asked, carefully examining his soaked jacket. Maria's eyes narrowed as she glanced at the man, who sat back smugly as if nothing had happened. Despite the tension in the air, Maria remained calm and resolute, ready to take control of the situation and ensure justice for the young boy. Maria stood up and faced the man directly. "Sir, what you just did is unacceptable," she said firmly. "You poured hot coffee on a child, and that's assault." The man scoffed, trying to brush it off. "It was an accident. I tripped," he muttered. Maria shook her head, unimpressed. Calmly, she pressed the intercom button and announced, "Captain, we have a passenger safety violation, requesting immediate assistance." Passengers' eyes turned toward the scene. Some quietly recorded videos on their phones, capturing every moment. Whispers spread quickly, and the tension in the cabin grew as the man realized this wasn't going to be ignored. Within moments, 2 off-duty officers who happened to be on board stepped forward to help. They approached the man and calmly instructed him to remain seated. The man's confident smirk vanished as he was restrained and watched closely by the officers. Around the cabin, passengers shifted from stunned silence to visible support for Jamal and Maria. Murmurs of encouragement filled the air as people offered their sympathy and admiration. The atmosphere changed. The boy and flight attendant now had the full backing of those watching. As the plane touched down in Los Angeles, FBI agents and local authorities were already waiting at the gate. They boarded quickly and arrested the man on charges of assault and racial harassment. The news spread fast. Videos recorded by passengers went viral on social media, sparking outrage and calls for justice. Major news outlets picked up the story, highlighting the bravery of the flight attendant and the resilience of the young boy. The man's name and actions were widely condemned, leading to his immediate dismissal from his job. For Jamal and Maria, justice had finally been served high above the clouds, but the impact of that flight would reach far beyond the skies. After landing, medics quickly examined Jamal and confirmed he had no serious injuries, just a soaked jacket and shaken nerves. Jamal looked up at Maria and softly said, "Thank you for standing up for me." "Nobody ever does." Maria smiled warmly and replied, "It's my job to protect everyone on this plane, no matter what. Racism has no place here." Her calm strength left a lasting impression on Jamal, giving him hope and courage despite the painful experience. Following the incident, the airline announced new mandatory training on racial sensitivity and stricter passenger conduct policies. Jamal's story inspired many to speak out against injustice and treat others with kindness. The airline also sponsored Jamal's vacation to make up for the ordeal. His courage and Maria's leadership reminded everyone that standing up against hate can create real change. If this story moved you, please share it and join the conversation about respect and fairness everywhere, on the ground or 30,000 feet in the air.